What I really believe about our lives in this universe is that when we're meant to do something, when it's with purpose, we experience zero resistance, and the world works with us to deliver what we're meant to do. Why do anything if you're not going to actually help people? My experience as a woman in business is that my mentorship opportunities have largely been men, because according to our statistics, 96% of men are the ones who occupy those CEO roles. And if I want to accelerate my career and have a mentor, where are the women that are available to mentor me, right? So it's that access, where are they at? So it was a huge reason why I started WEFA, because I wanted to get all the women I possibly could in the same room and say, cool, what are you good at? Great, you help her. Okay, what are you good at? Great, you help her. How do we prepare individuals and organizations to create a climate where women can thrive and support each other? The leaders in this room, because you're all leaders, doesn't matter if you've been given a formal title that says you're in charge of other people, be a leader now. You're a leader no matter what. You're leading your friends, you're leading your family in every way, every day. So just try that on. Everybody try it on. Say, I'm a leader. A little bit louder, I'm a leader.
I'm a leader.
That's right, you're a leader. So how can you be the change? So this is number one in my book, number one. Anybody can argue this for me, I'm gonna say it's number one. You gotta know yourself. And you have to know yourself so intimately that no one can rock your core. Because I can tell you, I spent a good percentage of my career emulating other people to try to figure out what I wanted to do. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna do it his way, because I'm not him, I'm gonna do it my way. Because I need to, but if I don't know who I am, what's my way? What are your goals and why? And what do you dream about? There was a time in my life that someone asked me that question, what do you dream about? And I sat there, and my response was travel. Now, if somebody asked me that question today, you better have like an hour, because I'm gonna tell you about a lot. And it took me a long time to build those ideas. Because dreams don't have to be something that actually even makes sense to anybody but you. But if you don't have them, you can get really entangled in the day-to-day and stay stagnant. And that might be, okay to you. I want more for you. I want more for you. Remove words like just and sorry from your vocab. This is especially for my ladies in the room. I was given the exercise at one point in time to, every single time I went to send an email, to remove the justs before I sent it. And it took me about 3 weeks to break the habit, because I did it every time I sent an email and I didn't have the awareness of it. So next time you're sitting down at your email, look for the ways that you automatically apologize for something that you don't need to be taking accountability for. As women, we're really, you rush into a room, I'm so sorry, I'm late. No, walk into the room and start the meeting. If you need to acknowledge something to be good with the room, do it, but don't apologize for things that you don't need to be apologizing for. Launch into an intimate discovery of who you are, so that then can give birth to your life work. I, for years and years and years, prayed and prayed on the context of, I want to just wake up in the morning and somehow get paid really well to be me. And I have not let go of that. This is me right now being me. I might be talking in a little bit more direct tone, but this is the me that my son gets at bedtime. This is the me that my husband gets at the dinner table. This is the me that my mom gets over dinner last Sunday. It's the me that Nate gets when I'm on his ranch looking at his horses. It's me. That wasn't always the case. And it took self-discovery to get there. Responsibility. So I will never forget the first time that I was in a workshop and somebody was like, responsible. You need to be responsible. And all I could think about was being in 7th or 8th grade and my mom and dad saying to me, you're responsible now because you're older. And that was my context of what this word meant. And what I want to kind of bring to you today is that this word really is underscoring the fact that when you are aware, when you've committed to a life where you say, I am conscious of these things, I'm aware that women make up 4% of CEOs and I need to do something about it, I'm aware. When you have awareness, you get to be response-able. You get to respond because you're aware. And that gift of awareness, those of us, in my opinion, that have that awareness, As soon as we get the awareness, we have a responsibility to act. It's a gift, but I will tell you, once you've gone down the rabbit hole, you cannot go back. You don't get to pick what you're going to be aware of, and you don't get to pick and choose. I heard some sighs in the room. It can be burdensome because you don't get to walk through life blindly anymore, ignoring the things that convict you on an emotional level that you know, even on a small scale, you could influence. You get to choose to influence it instead. And what a gift that awareness is, but it's a choice. Speak up, advocate for yourself. Men and women, it is so easy to say, I don't know. Where do you want to go to dinner? I don't know. Where do you want to go to dinner? How many people have had that conversation like every day? I don't know. You pick this time. You pick this time. Just get on Open Table and pick something. I don't know. I'm here to tell you that these are in an order for a reason. So when you get to this point, once you've known yourself and you can take responsibility, speak up. Advocate for yourself. Women's ability to negotiate, or anyone's ability to negotiate pay, I think has to do with their alignment of their value. If you're aligned with your value, negotiating pay becomes just a physical outpour of what you know needs to happen, that it's going to align. So the cool thing is in my experience, the ability to speak up and advocate for yourself comes from self-discovery. It comes from taking responsibility. Check your vocab. This is another place where we can take responsibility for the things that come out of our mouths. If you've ever heard the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it, whatever, I'm not advocating for that. What I'm advocating for is to be truthful in what you're saying and to consider if you're causing the other person any harm. And if you are, don't say it and choose to internalize it instead. This lifestyle design that gets to be what you name it. That you get to name it and say, you know what, I want to be the CEO of the company, but I need to help impact that culture for it to be okay that my son hangs out there with me. Make it up. I think the most important thing is that you make it up. I'm making it up right now every day. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but what I'm committed to is discovering what works. So within that, there's choice. That's the thing that I want to underscore, is getting away from the default mechanism that's been designed by somebody for us to just do, versus, you know what, I want to be around. I want to be able to breastfeed my son 4 times a day and be on conference calls. That's what I'm going to do. And then make it happen. It can be done. I promise you, you just have to make it up and be totally cool with the resistance that you might get from somebody that doesn't think it's looking right. Creating a plan. So for yourself, if what resonated with you is that you know that word responsibility feels super weird and you're not sure what to do with it, but you like the way I described it, but you don't know what to do with it, write it down as part of what you want your plan to be. How am I going to learn about responsibility? So creating a plan is the first thing. The second one is create accountability. So ask somebody for help that actually cares about you succeeding. All of us have that gym partner that's like, want to meet me at the gym? And they're like, why don't we go grab donuts instead and just chat? That's not the person necessarily that you want to have supporting you in a journey of transformation. The idea would be that you team up with someone that's personally invested in you succeeding and that's interested in championing your success. So specifically women, and what I realized within WIFA is that you got to get everybody on the same page first. And for you guys, if you don't have somebody in your immediate life that cannot support you in that way, then find a way to hire a coach and somebody that can get in your corner. 3, you can put one foot in front of the other. You can take that plan, you can have somebody align with you that can support you with that plan and then help you break it down into bite-sized things so that every day you have something to do that is your compass back to the North Star. I think one of the hardest things in the work that I do every day is that I walk into these organizations and there's this huge problem that's become the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, and it's super hard for everybody. And then you start talking to someone and it always started somewhere. And when it started, it was usually one decision. It's the same with our lives. it's exactly the same. So at some point, wherever you feel off base, at some point, you made a choice to go left instead of right or forward instead of backwards, and it's landed you where you are now, and there's an opportunity to make change. So 1, create a plan. Accountability. 3, take action.